Hey guys and girls, right, okay, back on to our lessons about switches and what they do. Very interestingly, I find you can add more pedals than a switcher would normally take. We alluded to this on the first video. So this is an ES5, this has 5 loops plus 1 out for the tuner. So you know, if you count your tuner, then you've got 6 on there. But let's have a look. How many pedals have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and an expression pedal. So 10. Double, in fact. This is here for another reason, so I'll speak about that in a moment. There are ways and means of adding extra pedals to a switching system. One is you can get loop extenders that work through Midi. We'll go on to Midi in just a second. But what they do is they come out of here, and then basically when you hit that, it switches on or off other loops. Sometimes they only have 2 loops, so you only add in 2 loops to your switcher. I mean, yeah, it's not too great, 2 loops, so bloody well what? Some of them add more. Yeah, and I think that's where you'd want to go, because it's always good. It's a bit like an amp, it's always good to have headroom. Even if you only want to add 2 more pedals, you know, why not have one that you can add 4 to, just in case? Otherwise you'd have to buy another one. They're not cheap either. But you can buy a switching system with more. Biggest one I know of, I think I've seen one with 12 loops. Yeah, that's quite good. But here's the thing. I've got these 5 pedals plugged into loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the outputs, I'm going straight into the DD500, then I'm going into the EQ, then I'm going into the noise gate. With Midi, you can send changes to a MIDI controlled pedal. Now, we've got the DD500 set up here. Now you can see on here the screen. I don't know if you can read it in depth, but when I press this button here, you should be able to see that change. Can you see this change here? Now that's changing with the 2 different things I've got set on here. If I had it set up slightly differently, it would turn on that actual patch. But I didn't want it set up like that for this purpose, because I wanted to show you another thing. With the DD500, now with the new update, you can run 2 at the same time, which is fantastic. So I've set it up so, for instance, I can do this. You can see now that when I switch patch, the patches on here have changed already. Now I know that's really easy to do, you can go up and down like that, you know, but like I say, I can make it so I can switch to that, and then automatically a patch, maybe patch 99 will turn on. You don't want to be going from patch 50 to patch 99, do you? That's what switches are all about. At the touch of a button, getting that thing that would be impossible to get otherwise. So Midi makes it really, really handy. But there's another thing you can do. You can have one switcher controlling several Midi pedals. In fact, I think it's Source Audio that have brought out a MIDI only switcher. So there's no loops on it for standard pedals. It only deals with MIDI, pedals, because most of their pedals are MIDI. And it will change all these different parameters and all these different pedals at the same time, which is absolutely awesome. I don't really like that it doesn't have loops on it, but you know, that's personal preference. Great for a mini board, as is the MS3, which is the mini switcher with built-in effects, which is about that big. It's a Boss pedal. It's got, I think, 3 loops on it or 4 loops on it, but it's got a bunch of, yeah, it's got 3 loops on it. Midi, so you can control Midi pedals, but it's got like 4 patches on each thing, so it's about that big. And it has built-in effects as well. Apparently using the same algorithms for the delays, for instance, as the DD500 and the MD500 and the RV500, which are the trifecta of Boss pedals. That's really cool. That's really, really, really cool. Now, watch this. If we come on to here, this number here, you may not be able to see what it is, but you'll be able to see that it's changing. So, you see 500 down to 20, 500 stopping at 292, you know, and I'm controlling that with this expression pedal. That's super cool as well, because what it means is you can send a MIDI signal that's controlled by an expression pedal into the Boss ES5 or the ES8 or the MS3. How do you use that? How would you use that? Well, let's put it this way. If you've got the DD500, then you've got umpteen other pedals that all have tap tempo in them. So you've got a Strymon Mobius, for instance, or something along those lines, and it's got a tremolo setting in it, and you want that tremolo to be in time with the DD500 and what you're playing, or the drummer. Then you can set the different maximums and minimums for each patch, which can be related to each song. So each song's got a different time signature, and all of your effects will be at the same tap. So they'll all be on the same tap tempo. They'll be all be at the same tempo. Yeah, simple as that, really. Puts all of your pedals in sync with each other. So you can add more pedals after, and you can add pedals before. Obviously, if you played a wah, you wouldn't have to put the wah into it. You could just have the wah plugged into the front of it. Why not? So you have your guitar plugged into the wah, and then from the wah into the switcher. I've said wah way too many times now. So that's my beginner's guide to switching systems. The only extra thing I would say is, quite simply, whatever size your board, small, medium, large, if you add a switcher to it, it multiplies the sounds you can get tenfold, because you can add all of those parallels, you can add all that order switch into it. There's so much you can do, and the more pedals you have, the more combinations. It's exponential almost. So yeah, top tip, get a switcher if this appeals to you. Okay, right, thanks guys, thanks for watching, see you all soon, bye bye.